Well, good news. Your G3 magazines will fit into a TH9. Look at that. Nice. Okay. Hello everyone, welcome back. Another episode here. And in this episode, obviously it's about the Taurus gun, the G3, the G2C, and the TH9C compared to some of the other budget guns and a Glock 19. So what I have at the table is from left to right. I got the G2C, which I just recently purchased, Academy on a Black Friday special. I think 2 years ago. This one right here is the TH9C, also a Black Friday at Academy. Taurus G3, not quite a Black Friday. I wanted this to be the Black Friday, and you get, like, you buy this and you get the G2C for free, but that never happened. But I still got it at a good price. I think it's a good price. And then the Glock 19, which is the current model in which I actually carry with me, my everyday carry. And then the Smith & Wesson SD9VE. All of these are 9mm. So I'm just gonna kind of go over and compare them. Now, some of these guns I have not taken to the range. I have not test fired. Some of them aren't really meant to be test fired. Some of them will never really be my everyday carry. But some of them are actually for the purposes of laser dry fire training. So let me go and talk about the firearms here, going from left to right. Okay. So let's start off with the the Taurus G2C. This is the Black Friday at Academy, the most recent 2019, and it has a stainless steel upper, very nice, included with the Viridian E-Series laser clamshell. I just put it on and adjusted it, made the adjustments here at the bottom here for elevation, and then windage here on the side, and this is where the laser comes out. And I did adjust it so it actually is where it's supposed to be, straight out of here and not sighted in to the target, because I have a laser G sight in here. I have already a laser G sight. You could probably kind of see it, that little shiny brass piece right there in here. So I've already sighted the laser G sight automatically will be sighted in. I did have to adjust the rear sight for windage and some elevation, so it was not perfect out of the box. Had to adjust it, but thanks to the laser G sight, that was relatively easy. And then from there, I adjusted the laser to be this far apart from the barrel, so it worked out really great. I have not test fired this. I may not test fire it. This is one of the guns that I'm going to use for the sole purpose of laser dry firing. So if you know about these guns, these Taurus, the Taurus, it's empty, okay. The Taurus G2C, this is what it looks like with the 12 round magazine in here. It has restrike capability, so you'll see what I'm talking about as the laser will hopefully show up right there. There it is. It has restrike capability, so the striker is hitting the G sight, activating the laser, and this is what the sole purpose of this gun is. And then I put the Viridian laser on here, and as you can see right there, it is corresponding to where it is, and then the G sight corresponds to where the barrel is, and I set it up that way. So will I ever carry this? It seems like a very small compact gun. It is the smallest pistol here on the table, and so far I do like it. I do like it. And again, the reason why I really like it is the restrike capability, and that's why I'm using it as a laser dry fire training tool, and plus it is a real gun. So if I ever really wanted to carry this, I just take out the laser G sight cartridge, and then, you know, put in some self-defense ammo in here, and start carrying it. All right, so that's this right here. So yeah, I checked it, safety checked that. Okay, we'll just put this back over here. Okay, and next is going to be the Taurus TH9C. I'm just going from left to right based on size. Okay, they're all 9mm. I again purchased this on Black Friday. It's the only hammer-fired pistol here. Taurus TH9C. This also has a laser G sight in here. You can actually see it better in this one right here. So it has a laser G sight in here. Again, about this for laser dry fire training, and it was again another Academy Black Friday deal. I got, what did I get? With this one I got Heritage Rough Rider. With this one I got the Rossi RS22, 22 long rifle, and again, the purpose of it eventually became a laser dry fire. Comes in another magazine, a 15 round magazine and a 17 round magazine. This one only has a 12 round. But the G3, I'll get to it later. You'll see what I'm talking about. And you know, because it's hammer fired, I can just also laser dry fire with this. It activates the laser. Matter of fact, this helps me with the trigger pull, because this is a almost 12 double action, single action, 12-pound trigger pull. And let me tell you, you dry fire with this, you start developing a really strong trigger pull. You can do this left-handed as well, and you develop your left-hand trigger pull, because after you shoot like this, you get really tired and your trigger finger really gets tired. You'll be surprised how tired your trigger finger can get. Okay, so that's that. So now let's get to the G3. Now the G3, okay, the G3 I'm liking this gun. I really like this gun. It's the same size or very close to the same size as the Glock 19. The grip angle is a little more straight, upright versus the Glock 19. Again, another, well, it's not a Black Friday deal, but I got it on a hot deal. Very nice gun. It really is a nice gun. I like it. But I got this again for the sole purposes of laser dry firing. There we go. So I cleaned all these guns, and it's hard to see, but it does have a laser G sight in there. So it is empty. This is the magazine. It also comes with a 17 round magazine, and it does fit nicely in there. I don't slam it because it vibrates the laser G sight. It might vibrate the lens loose, but striker fired. The trigger is really light on this one, really light. I could pull this trigger all day, and so that's the main reason why I got it, because laser dry fire training. Oh, sorry. Laser dry fire training. Do this all day. And also another benefit is that these magazines can fit into the G2. Let's see, this is the 15 round. There you go. Would I ever do this? No, not really. I don't think the G2 fits in the, well, it'll fit. Oh, did it just go in? It did go in. Oh, that's because this is the 15 round magazine. Never mind. The G2C, the 12 round magazine, will not fit in. Too short, but man, it looks good, doesn't it? That looks good. Looks good. I wonder if you could change the base plate on it, but I guess that would change everything, wouldn't it? Looks good, but will not obviously open. Okay, won't open. I know. If you're kind of curious, if the G2, the Taurus TH9 will fit, because it looks so similar. It looks so similar. It really does. If you look at the magazine, it just very similar, except for that cut right here. That's the only thing missing. If you really wanted to, I guess you could put it into one of these from the TH9C if you wanted to. I don't know why you would do it. I mean, if you look at it, it's so similar, very similar, right? The only difference is, well, hold on, they got a cutout right here. I wonder if the G2C will fit into the TH9. These are both, this is a 13 round, sorry, 13 round. Comes with another 17 round magazine, I think. Let's see. Let's just, since we have it out. Oh, it will fit. I got a 15 round magazine in here. I haven't fired any live ammo. I'm just putting it in. Oh, interesting. Because it has that little cut. It has that cut right there. just like this is a 13 round for the TH9C right here. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, good news. Your G3 magazines will fit into a TH9. Look at that. Nice. Okay. But your TH9 will not, I wonder if the TH9 magazines will fit into the G3 or the G2C. It won't, because it doesn't have that cutout right here. I bet you if you did it, you can make these three guns from Taurus, their magazines, all compatible with each other if you cut it out. I don't know why you would, but it's possible. It's possible. Let me see if it'll open. It'll open, but you got to push your hand down on it. Let me see what happens if I let go. Yeah. Okay. All right. Just playing around. That's interesting. Okay. Gotta figure out where all the magazines go now. Let me see. This is 13. So the G3 magazines are compatible with the TH9 magazines as well as the G2C magazines, or for the G2C, I should say. Okay. So we've gone over some of these. Now, the reason why I have these, okay, is I can laser dry fire. They obviously have these two have restrike capabilities, okay? The striker fired. The hammer fired, obviously, you can just keep pulling the trigger and it'll hit the firing pin and activate the laser. So now let me get to the Glocks and let's check this. I don't have a G sight in here because this Glock has no restrike capability. All right, so there's no laser in here. Once you pull that trigger, that's it. That's it. And basically, it's because of the design of the Glock. Okay, the design of the Glock. You can see the trigger, the spring here. The spring here pulls onto the trigger versus returning the trigger. So it's not really trigger. I guess it's just a trigger spring and not a trigger return spring. So there's a difference, and I could put a G sight in here, but I would have to rack it to get the trigger back, rack it, and that's annoying. So for laser dry firing, this kind of gun, the Glock, not very useful. Not very useful. But this is the gun I carry. All right. It is probably the most expensive gun on the table. The finish on this is by far the best out of all these guns. Its simplicity, its ease of use is the best out of all these guns. And you are buying a name, you are buying a brand to go with it as well. So this is like a $500 to $600 gun depending where you get it. This is a Glock 19 Gen 4, and this is the gun I currently carry. I have actually 2 or 3 of the Gen 4 and 1 of the Gen 3s. So anyways, but hard to laser dry fire with no restrike capability. All right, and let's put that in there now that we, yeah. So let's compare the Glock to the G3, and it's very close, very similar in size and width. The angle is different though. The angle of the handle is different. The Glock has more of a angle to it versus the Taurus has a more of an upright angle. If you can see that. So it's more of an angle here versus the G3 has more of a straighter angle. So, but very similar, very similar. Just a little bit different in the design. Let me open this up. There we go. And you'll see it. There's obviously a return spring, trigger return spring right back here. I don't know if you can see that. And that pushes the trigger bar forward after you pull it. See? See that? But I have to admit, it is a little trickier to put the slide back on. I'm going to try to do my best. And so what you want to do is you want to line up this back piece, and also eventually when you get to the striker, the shear here, I think it's called the shear, but I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong. And you want to line that up so it hits this piece right here, this piece right in the middle, right there. It is finicky, very finicky. There we go. You got to line it up just right. That's the only thing I don't like about the G3 is you got to line it up, this back plate as well as the trigger shear to this piece right here, that moving piece right there, and then that will set everything into motion to get the slide back on. Yeah, so you really gotta line it up. So that's the only thing about it. Different design, of course, internally, but it's still a very good gun. I love this gun. It's been a pleasure to dry fire. This gun, these Taurus guns are going to save me a whole bunch of money on ammo. So if you think about the guns and the cost of guns, the guns are cheap. What's expensive is the ammo. Like, think about the ammo. People will pay 10 times more than the gun for the ammo. So you can do a 10,000 round test. What I'm going to do is just do a simple laser dry fire test, and that's when I know if the gun's going to break or not. But yeah, the Glock 19 is my carry gun. and you're paying for a better finish, somewhat better quality, and the brand. All right. Now this last gun, all right, this last one right here. Okay, this was, I think, my second. I bought this before I bought my Glock 19, and this was sold or touted as being kind of like a Glock, and it's very similar to a Glock. Oh, first of all, let's check it. There's no laser G sight because once you pull that trigger, same thing. It won't activate until you reset the trigger or reset the striker, and then there you go. I don't like this gun at all. I think this gun sucks. All right. A couple things. I know this is probably an older SD9 VE. All right. But you see that? You'll see the movement here. The polymer on this is flimsy. Because of that, the point of impact is actually to the upper right of the post. All right. The trigger, this trigger here, it's like it's like two-piece trigger, and it's so mushy. It's very mushy. Okay. And I'll tell you why. All right. The other thing is, I haven't shot this gun in a very long time. All right, but look at the spring power to eject the magazine. Just nothing there. So literally, it's just falling because of gravity, not really because of the spring. All right. Let's go into the internals here. It's similar to a Glock, but not even close. Not even close. Okay. Yeah. I think I had to remove the remove the magazine to get the slide off. Yeah, it just okay. Anyways, so if you look at the way this is set up, okay, you'll notice that there's the spring is right there. You see the spring is right here up in the front. Compared to the Glock, the spring is in the back. The spring is in the back. The G3, the different kind of spring, a coiled spring, is in the back, pushing the trigger bar forward, giving you the restrike. Smith & Wesson, they have their spring right there, and that's their return spring for the trigger to come back. Okay. Now, you're probably thinking, well, if the trigger comes back, I mean, you should be able to restrike. Well, no, not really, because the way this works, all right, is you pull the trigger, boom, and what happens is the slide goes in, comes back, pushes this down, right, and that's what resets the trigger. Like that. And if you look at the slide, you see this piece right here? This piece right here is what resets that trigger. Now the problem with that is when it's, and this is why I think this gun sucks, is you pull the trigger, boom, slides back, and goes forward again. And because it's pushing up against that, whatever this thing is up here, the gun has a tendency to rock back and forth. Not only from the recoil, but because of that But as you see right here, and because of this, in my opinion, it it simply just pushes down on this, right? But because it has to roll over it, the gun feels like it does this a lot. It does this a lot. That's what I've noticed. That's what I've noticed. So this gun is literally a paperweight, in my opinion. But it was, I think, around 280, something like that, around 280. Yeah, another budget gun, but I would not recommend this gun. If Taurus, all right, Taurus, any one of these guns is better than this gun, in my opinion. Just my opinion. All right. All right. So this is going to conclude my episode on these guns here. Just comparing them and giving you my input on them. So far, these two are my two new guns. I'm liking them so far as laser dry fire training. These three guns here for laser dry fire training. This is my carry gun. This gun sucks. All right. Well, hopefully I'm going to wrap this up now. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please subscribe, like, share, or comment. Leave your comments below. Tell me which gun you would prefer out of these, or whatever gun that you have. Thumbs up. Till next time, everybody. Bye-bye.